good evening, and welcome to Hub City Deli, where we've got the Jackson Christian Eagle Coaches Show, and of course, two of their fine coaches here, the head coach, Darby Palmer, and my compadre, my color man in basketball, but also a great football coach. Still holds a few records down at Freed Hardiman with the old baseball bat and stuff. Coach Brian Bullard is here. And, gentlemen, we're going to not follow our normal format, but we're going to talk about a lot of things because I know the Jackson Christian people that are listening, and some are already at the stadium list. We've got an elementary school game. Well, I call it elementary. It's 5th and 6th grade, right?
Yes, sir. 4th, 5th, and 6th grade going on right now versus Trinity.
And now those young men have been – undefeated, only one loss in the last couple of years?
They haven't lost a game in 2 years.
I thought it was one or the other, and the last loss may have been, the middle school kids had one loss last year.
Yes, sir.
What a great record. And, of course, they were supposed to open up, and we want to talk about them a little bit over the week. They were supposed to open up with the Bemis Middle School, but COVID out there. So they went and had a game-like scrimmage, and won that, I believe, 14-0?
Yes, sir, at Bethel Springs.
Bethel Springs, and they play some mean football down there.
Yes,
and
sir.
Some good things like that. But let's go ahead and tell you what the good news is last week I had the privilege to call the game for a lot of fine young men, and we opened up with a group called North Point Christian, formerly known as SBEC, one of the most feared programs in the state for years. They even won one before we separated into divisions. Butch Veazey was down there, and their head coach, and the only thing that stopped us from scoring more than 56 points, we ran out of time. We had a big win last week, Coach.
Yes, sir.
It absolutely was. And, Brian, you look like you enjoyed last week too.
We had a lot of fun, a lot of points put on the board. It was a good time, Coach.
And it was. And let's say something like Tyler Gold did a good job with his kids. Both teams extremely young, but I believe they had a little more experience on the field than we did.
Yes, sir. And Coach Gold does a great job with their program. He's got a lot of numbers out in North Point Christian, and they're very excited about football down there. But we have a lot of numbers out ourselves, and it was a very exciting game. Our guys really fought hard together, came together during the week, and did a great job.
Now, we're going to talk to these two gentlemen some more, but I'm going to remind you behind you, and if they play football Friday night like they're chowing down on the food here at Hub City Deli, we've got Tacker Nash, sometimes better known now around town is Uncle Stephen, who's a Jackson Christian graduate. Got this thing started with Tackler Nash.
There we go.
And we have picked up on it. And, of course, the man that runs like a Swiss watch, the fine-tuned settings and stuff. He goes tick-tock, tick-tock, and you try to hit him. Cam Boyd is back there. And then a very new young man down there, but we're glad to have him after a knee injury. He played for the enemy last year, but he's one of the good guys this year, and that is Presley Edmiston. And I got to talk to him a little bit, talk to his parents, some good people. They're going to come on after the coaches, and then Coach Brian Bullard is going to finish this up because Coach Darby Palmer is doing what a good head coach does. He's going to be there to check out his future talent. Darby, future's bright for Jackson Christian. We've got good kids all the way down into elementary school, and with probably not the youngest team in the state, one of the youngest teams in the state, we got a big win. We're 1-0.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's all that matters. We want to be 1-0 every week, 1-0 mentality, and we worked hard this past week to get it done.
And, Brian, I know you and Darby think a lot alike. We not think about any other game now this week but St. George's.
Yes, sir.
It's gone. North Point, they're gone. It's St. George's, another historic program. And Darby, and we're changing again, folks. We'll remind you the format because normally we'll come in here, talk about the last week's game, et cetera, like that, and save next week's game for the end. But we want to get both coaches' thought. This isn't going to be an easy task. People say, well, they went down to Mississippi and got beat. Yeah, I know who beat them, too, and it's a pretty fair team that beat them. And this new week, history means absolutely nothing, right?
Yes, sir, absolutely. They're a well-coached team. They play in a tough conference, as you know. The D2, 2A in the West is very tough, and they're going to be a well-coached team that's prepared and ready to play ball.
Oh, absolutely. Coach, I know you've been watching film. This man – I think he watches film in his sleep.
There we go.
I learned a lot about him from basketball because he just visualizes it. what have you seen? What do we get? A couple of things we got to do, and then we'll get Coach Palmer's 3 keys to victory.
And I'm going to speak, Coach, I'm going to speak on my group, which is the defensive line, and we've really got to control the box and stop their counter, their power. They want to run the ball first, and so I challenged my guys on Monday that if we can take that away from them and make them do something they don't want to do, then that's how we have a good chance to be in the ball game.
Okay, now I need to ask you about a young man, and you're going to think, why in the world is he asking about it? Brandon Bennett.
Yes, sir.
How many double teams did he draw the other night?
Between him and Cedric Anderson, Coach, that's a lot of beef there in the middle, and they occupy and they do what they're supposed to do and they're coached to do. We love those two guys.
I was so proud of Brandon because I know he has worked hard. Alan Irvin hits the weight room hard. Now, you guys are in there too, but pressure's on Alan for these kids.
I don't think there's a better strength conditioning coach in the state that gets our kids prepared, not only physically but also mentally ready to play. Coach Irv does an outstanding job.
Well, I know about that because one of the young men back behind us I'm very familiar with. Back a few years ago, I wouldn't have minded wrestling with him or anything else like that. I wouldn't let him even pick me up. Now, he would break all my bones in my body when do that. Now let's talk about the team though as a whole. And we've kind of introduced some things about St. George's, and we've got some reminders. Big week. We just got an honor, and that's a big honor because they consult with a lot of people when they do that. Not only Alex Northcutt and Michael Love, but there's a pretty good football announcer who is the second longest football announcer in America for college football, Tom Brett out there. And so the honor we got, I'll let you tell them about it, but that's a big honor.
Yes, sir. I just got the text on the way over here, but we're going to be named the WBBJ Team of the Week. So that's a big honor for our guys, a young team that locked arms and got the job done.
And absolutely. Coach, I know you got to be excited because your line, sometimes our linemen don't get enough credit, and the fans in the stands will overlook some really good play, and that's the reason I want them to watch. And Brandon's not the only one, but watch those double teams. And again with Cedric too. Mm-hmm. Cedric knifed through there a couple of times too, and you can see that old hand reaching out there when your nose man is fighting. And I'm so old they used to call them middle guards.
There we go.
Y'all even heard that term?
No, sir.
Well, that's what Duffy Daugherty at Michigan State when he had Bubba Smith. Their nose man was called a middle guard back then. MG was how they put it on the tape and stuff. We got some other honors. What about individual honors this week? After the stats we had to have some individual honors.
I know that Cam Boyd's in a lot of the voting right now for Player of the Week. He won our Southern Capital Player of the Week that we do through our school, who sponsors our game of the week. So Cam Boyd is the Southern Capital Player of the Week.
Oh, and Southern Capital, those are great people to do that and impressive. And Coach, I'm going to put words in your mouth. If you had to give an award, it'd probably go to your whole defensive line, wouldn't it?
I'm going to go ahead and really go on the other side of the ball.
Yeah.
Coach Reichard's offensive line.
Okay.
We did some good things defensively, but those guys paved the way all night. It didn't matter who was in the backfield. Those guys got after their defensive line. And in the fourth quarter, you could tell. You could tell it made a difference. And there's some of those that bleed over from offense to defense, but we try to keep our linemen going just one way, especially as hot as it is. But those offensive linemen deserve a lot of credit for this week.
Well, they really did because this is an all-rookie line as far as playing for Jackson Christian. Mm-hmm. We had 5 seniors last year that started just about every game except for injury or 2 game, and it was amazing. We knocked people off the ball. North Point not an easy team to block because, first of all, they say they play a 3 front. They gave y'all all kinds of looks.
That's right.
And they brought linebackers, and evidently the linemen worked well together. The line calls went well, and there were very few blown assignments.
Absolutely, and it starts up front with our center, Presley, who's really the quarterback of our front, who's making all the checks, making all the calls, and he did a great job getting our line really motivated and playing well.
Absolutely. Both sides of it I was pleased with. Now another situation, and I think you've got some outstanding kids. You came in and probably made the toughest decision you had to make, but you have 2 fine young men that can play quarterback, either one of them. And I kind of like what you did because one is a Swiss Army knife. I'm not sure there's anything he can't play. I bet if you put him in to play guard, he could play guard.
He would probably do it and do it well.
But Walker Ray, one of the finest, he snaps the football on punts, extra points. He can play wide out. He can run the football. He can throw the football. He plays defensive back. Matter of fact, he had several tackles. I was looking at the stats playing defensive back. And the only thing that I didn't see Walker do was take water out on the field the other night. But what a fine, outstanding young man. And then the other one is Gage Boykin. I'll let y'all talk a little bit about both those young men.
Well, Walker did a great job for us as receiver and really buying into his role. We had some injuries, and he was able to come in and fill that role at receiver, and he did an outstanding job for us. And then he actually played 3 defensive positions the other night. So he did a great job. He lined up at free safety, strong safety, and corner on both sides of the ball, on both sides of the field, and he did an awesome job. And Gage really settled in. He was 4 for 6 and did a great job spotting his throws and getting the ball out quickly and really commanding our offense.
And when we come back, we're going to talk a little more with coaches on this, but I'm going to remind Coach Darby, don't take any wooden nickels from Grant Boykin. Grant will get me for saying it. Grant's a good friend, and he will get me for that. But Coach Bullard is here, Coach Darby Palmer's here, and we'll have all the coaches. We'll have some of the middle school coaches. Hopefully we can get our school's president, and I'm going to make Jason Shelton. Now, y'all know Jason did color for about 5 minutes one night. We had Dave Wade had something come up and he had to attend to, and Jason stepped right in there and did color. The only thing is we make him wear his cap when he's in the press box and stuff. And I tease him about it. I knew him when he was a kid working in Coach Don Meyer's program. But we're going to take a quick time out. We're at Hub City Deli on Van Drive, and I'm going to tell you what, the boys are making me hungry. They are eating, and they can put it away now. Come down here. They've got everything. Eventually, the Piggy Sue will come back. That's the one with the 2 grilled pork chops on it and all of those great sauces, but they got the brisket. I'll let you in on a secret. Most people don't think delis have hamburgers. One of the best hamburgers in this town, and I can truthfully say this, because with a friend that I broadcast with and myself come here to Hub City Deli and devour it along with a couple of other guys that we broadcast with. Their kids go to the opposite school, so we won't mention them tonight. They don't get mentioned on this show. But you are with the Jackson Christian Coaches Show. Let's take a quick time out, and we'll be back with more.
Hello, folks. This is Gary Deaton, right here at Deaton's Carpet One. I want to let you know we've been in business for 48 years. Here's what I believe has made the difference. Our lifetime labor warranty on everything we install. Our healthy living installations, bacteria and germs cannot survive in our new flooring. Our beautiful guarantee, if you don't just love it, we'll replace it. It will make your flooring experience priceless. We're located on Freedom Highway, 1000 Highway 45 bypass in good old Jackson, Tennessee.
At Southern Family Dentistry, we use E+ broadband at both of our locations. We use digital x-rays at both of our offices, and we need the high-speed access to be able to submit all of our x-rays electronically for the insurance companies. Installation was simple. We experienced little to no downtime. I would highly recommend E+ broadband to anyone in the commercial market. The reliability is second to none, and the service is the best.
Great American Sports and Addiction, located at 125B Old Hickory Boulevard, East in Jackson. We specialize in teen sports for youth leagues, schools, and churches. We can embroider and screen print team uniforms. We also have sports equipment, Under Armour, and Adidas clothing, and anything else you need for your teen sports. You can email or call us for all your teen sports needs. Great American Sports. Make sports an addiction.
Football looks fun. I bet I would have been great at it. The first football playing deer, they would have made a movie about me and everything. Probably get Kurt Russell to play me. But alas, me and my dreams run right over again.
For fast, reliable collision repair, trust the experts at Mitchell's Body Shop. And get back out there.
And we are back with the Jackson Christian Coaches Show from Hub City Deli right here. It's actually off of Van Drive on Pleasant Plains Extended. To me, as a native Jacksonian, all streets connect to each other. We're not the Hub City. It's more than just Highway 45, 412, the interstate and all that coming through here. You can't miss it. Best food around here. And like I said, a couple of my broadcast partners on the regular sports talk show, we eat here regularly. Matter of fact, it's actually one of those gentlemen's account. Like I said, I love him to death, but I can't mention him tonight. We're going to talk. We got to meet these coaches up close and personal. They're doing a good job. Coach Palmer in his 4th year with Jackson Christian. And, Coach, tell us a little bit about where you started in football, who all you've played for, and who had the biggest influence on you of your coaches.
Absolutely. So I'm from Jonesboro, Arkansas. Went to Valley View High School. Got recruited, played at Hardiman University. Got recruited by Coach Tribble. Coach Huck, Coach Simmons, who's there now, has probably had the biggest impact in my life. And then Coach Huck baptized me in the swimming pool at Hardiman University. So he's a great man and great influence on my life.
Absolutely. And you remember Coach Bullard. Coach Bullard now is one of those guys. I got to call his name down at Freight Hardiman a few times last year. We talked about stats, but I'm going to let him tell you his story.
So I'm from Cheatham County, a little small town, and went to Sycamore High School, and ended up going to Freight Hardiman to play baseball, and was lucky enough to play there for 4 years. Coached a little baseball here at Jackson Christian before moving to Arkansas for 3 years. Excuse me. So I ended up back this way, and this is my 8th year here, and family settled here, 2 kids, they're in school, and we love it. And so this is no place I'd rather be.
A couple of quick questions. Favorite food by you guys?
Oh man, there's too many. Probably Coach Bull's chicken wings when he grills them out on the grill. That's a grill master right there.
We can agree on the wings. Yeah, absolutely.
Favorite sports movies?
I mean, Hoosiers. That's a good one.
Yes,
I'm going to have to go Remember the Titans for me. My son likes it now, and he's growing up with it, so I'm getting to pass that down a little bit.
Remember the Titans. Now, at school, besides lunch, what's the favorite thing besides teaching your class? 'Cause these 2 men are good teachers, too.
Well, right now my schedule's PE and health, but I really like we have a period called Cornerstone, which is really like a 30-minute period where we get our guys together, a small group of guys, and go through Bible verses a day, different things like that, where we connect with kids. I would think my favorite period of the day is my 8th grade Cornerstone that I have, connecting with those 8th graders.
Coach Bullard?
And I'll echo that about the Cornerstone, but my role this year has turned into more 6th and 7th grade, kind of like an assistant dean of students, and I walk with those teachers and help those teachers and just build relationships with those younger kids, trying to get them ready for the high school and setting those expectations for our school.
Now, because of the elementary game we got, and I'll call it that because we got 4th, 5th, and 6th graders playing this great game, I'd like to be there too, but I've got some fine young men. I'm going to give you time to call 5 friends because you don't want to miss. These are 3 of the most articulate young men. Now, the great silent guy is Tacker. I'm going to tell all
That's
of them.
right.
But now, when he gets going, he is very articulate. Cam can talk. He can talk up a storm now, and Presley seems like he can talk a little bit
yes,
too,
sir.
especially if he makes those line calls. Guys, what are we looking for Friday night? What do we got to do? And things that not only our kids and will we have some of the people that were out with for different reasons back this week?
Absolutely, we'll have a few of those guys back. We're looking for them to come back and join us, lock arms with us, carry everything that we've been focusing on a business trip, taking it on the road to Memphis. I think if we can do that defensively, if we can limit some of their free access throws, stop the power and counter, which Coach Bull talked about offensively, just do what we do, play Jackson Christian football, and execute at a high level, I think we'll be all right.
Coach, I know you got any goals for your guys for this game?
I told my guys, especially defensive line-wise, that we were there. We just didn't, in my opinion, we didn't make enough plays. If we can get those plays where we're right there and make those plays 3 or 4 yard losses and get them behind the chains, it's going to help out our young secondary and some of those guys that don't have as much on the field experience. So that's my challenge to the defensive line, our nose guards, and they're going to be unblocked and have to read and take on some pullers and things like that. We got to start turning those plays into negative plays and get guys behind the chains.
The problem we got to emphasize to our fans is going to come and support us. 7 o'clock start.
Yes,
now,
sir.
we start a little later, and you tell me if I'm wrong. that AstroTurf gets a little hot. Sometimes
does
it's
get
a
a
little
little hot.
better to start later.
Absolutely.
And you folks in the stands can even feel the heat that comes off of. But it's good stuff to have. 7 o'clock.
7
Don't
o'clock,
be
yes,
late.
sir.
You got to purchase tickets online.
That's right,
Yes, sir.
and I'm glad you brought that up. And that's across the state, pretty much.
Mainly Memphis thing for us so far, but yes, you got. I think it's GoFan is the app.
Yeah,
that you're supposed to get
GoFan,
on
and
there.
I know Middle Tennessee they're doing like.
Okay.
Columbia does come here. We'll talk about them later.
Yeah,
We're gonna
that's
beat
right.
them too. I know Charlie, because I lived in Mount Pleasant for 4 years while I was troubleshooting. Coaches, final statements from y'all, and then we're gonna get. And Coach Buller's gonna stay with me because he and I have worked basketball together before, and we're gonna question 3 of the finest young men. But final statement, Darby.
I'll echo that. You got 3 great captains right here that are about to talk to you, and I know that they're going to do a great job and represent us.
Absolutely. And Paul, we're produced and directed by Paul Schultze of Worthy Road Studios, but we are at Hub City Deli, the greatest deli around here. You need to come down here. Pleasant Plains Extended. Get off Van Drive. If you don't want to do that, come down by Union University. Come by our beautiful campus on Country Club Lane. And while you're doing that, stop by and see the beautiful facility. And we got a first-class baseball, football, softball field. We got a beautiful setting for a soccer field, although because I'm so short, I like it better when I'm sitting in the press box calling their games. And I had Will Cisco, who I actually made him the voice of the soccer team last year, and I was color man.
He wasn't a
for
bad
Will.
player.
He
was
wasn't
all
bad.
right.
Will the Hand Cisco, and he helped us out with the broadcast a lot. We're going to take a time out, and when we come back, we're going to have some very special guests, and you better run and call those 5 friends real quick because one of the fastest human beings in Jackson, Tennessee, Cam Boyd, will be with us. So let's take that time out.
Buying a car is all about you. In person, over the phone, or online, we make it simple and easy. Our place or yours, no matter where you live. LonnieCobbFord.com or Lonnie Cobb Ford in Henderson, where cars really are cheaper in the country. At Lonnie Cobb Ford, we now give you a warranty for life on the engine and transmission. That's right, a warranty for life at no cost to you. Unlimited time, unlimited mileage, but it's only at Lonnie Cobb Ford in Henderson, where cars really are cheaper in the country.
27 years ago, a vision became a reality and Snookums Steakhouse officially opened. We cut our steaks in-house and our ribeyes are full of flavor. The steak trimmings are used to make our certified Angus beef steak burgers, so when you order at Snookums, you are getting high quality. Enjoy our salad bar and mini dessert. Also try our famous family recipe, the Pink Lush Fruit Salad. Come visit Snookums Steakhouse in Henderson, Tennessee. We are open evenings Tuesday through Saturday but closed Sunday and Monday. Snookums Steakhouse, come taste the difference.
We are a team composed of highly skilled physical therapists with new school treatment approaches and old school customer service principles. We are a community presence because we know our foundation rests in relationship building and involvement. We are leaders in this industry and we're putting in time daily to develop that aspect of thinking. We're more than a business. We're a team composed of individuals governed by a set of core values. We are more than a physical therapy company. We're a movement in the profession. We are your premier physical therapy team in West Tennessee.
This could be a true story. On October 3rd, a 2003 hatchback struck and killed a deer that goes by the name Buck. I know, right? He now has Buck's head proudly displayed on his living room wall. He tells a different story.
Shot it.
No, he didn't.
And to hide his lie, he took his car to Mitchell's Body Shop.
No, I didn't.
Yes, he did. And lucky for him, they made it look good as new. And as for Buck, the story continues.
We are back at Hub City Deli for the Jackson Christian Coaches Show about football here. We are down on Pleasant Plains Extended. Come off of that, stepping in, or actually just kind of glided in like lightning. Cam Boyd, the fine running back who had 259 yards the other night. Now, I forgot to tell you folks something. Come on down here to Hub City Deli. These guys don't have an NIL contract or anything like that. They will sign autographs for you for free. They don't charge you. Now, they would like to, but the TSSAA won't let them either. So we'll let you know. Let's see. They would have done it for free anyway. Cam, you were named the Southern Capital Player of the Week. This award given to the Jackson Christian Player of the Game each week. It is voted on by the Twitter followers. And I know how many people's in that Twitter account. And Jimmy Carter doesn't have that many peanuts down in Georgia as the number of people we got on the Twitter account. 32 carries, 259 yards, 5 TDs. It's second all-time, I believe. Rufus Whittemore, 302 yards back in 2016 against TCA. And, you were the leading rusher last year with 600 yards, but last year was kind of an experience getting ready for this year, wasn't it?
Yes, sir, it really was.
And he doesn't think he's picked up some weight. Yes, muscle weighs more than fat does. Did you know that?
Yes, sir.
And I can see some muscle that wasn't there last year. You had muscles, but Coach Irvin, what about Coach Irvin's weight program?
I love it. I mean, he's very professional. He goes into depth with every small aspect of your workout. I mean, like from stretching to actually lifting weights, he cares about what he does and he loves it.
Absolutely. Coach, you got a question for Cam, and Coach Bullard is, like I said, he's done color with me, and some of the best basketball we had was with him. We're gonna make him a football broadcaster for a minute.
Hey.
I'm gonna ask Cam how he was able to stay in there for those. Was it, Coach, 32 carries?
32 carries, yeah.
'Cause there was a couple times where I thought he was squatting down a little bit, but I think he was just. How were you able to stay and give us that for 4 quarters, Cam?
Well, to be honest with you, it was really my team. It was the guys because they were motivated. They kept trying. They kept pushing. It was the effort and the energy that they put on the field, and I knew if they were giving their all, it was only right if I gave my all. I just had to push through.
Absolutely.
Let's meet Cam up close and personal. Cam, what's your favorite food?
Favorite food? I love chicken Alfredo.
Chicken Alfredo.
Yes, sir.
My wife would love you because she. We won't name a business that she goes to and gets it, but she loves it there. It's very good.
Okay.
What about movies, especially a sports movie? What is your favorite sports movie?
My favorite sports movie, I would have to go with The Longest Yard, honestly.
The Longest Yard. Which version, though? The Burt Reynolds or the Adam Sandler?
Adam Sandler.
I was going to say, Coach, I don't know if he knows about the Burt Reynolds.
Yeah,
Have you
I
ever
don't know
seen the
about that
Burt?
one.
Oh, okay. Now, the Burt Reynolds version had a bunch of NFL players in it, too, and you need to go find that version.
I'll check that out tonight.
Adam is very good. Who's your hero or favorite athlete?
Favorite athlete? I would have to go with Saquon Barkley, honestly.
A very fine young man at Penn State, plays for a buddy of mine named James, or played for James Franklin in college. And James, I got to know him while he was up there, but Saquon Barkley, a fine young man. What other sports do you play?
Well, I'm thinking about starting back going into baseball, but for sure, football and track. Yes, sir.
Well, I was going to grab you and maybe Jalen and a couple of other kids and put together a 4x100 relay team. Would you be interested in that?
Yes, sir, most definitely.
And this young man, he can motor. That's the reason I told you better be quick calling your 5 friends extra to listen to these guys. And who's been the biggest influence in your life?
Honestly, I would have to go with my father. I mean, the sacrifices he's made is everything. He keeps me motivated. He makes sure I do everything right. I love you, Dad.
Good man.
He does everything for me.
Favorite class at school, and we're not putting any teacher down, but I always like my history classes. And what's your favorite?
I mean, I have to go with math, you know. I always loved math regardless. The challenge, I just love the challenge. That's just me.
That is great. Now, I was not much of a mathematician. This young man's very smart, too. And other than lunch and football practice, what's your favorite thing at school?
Honestly, probably athletics class, PE. I like that class.
It is a good class. Pass game. What your thoughts after you've got all this yardage? You had some great blocking by your offensive line.
Yes, sir.
And matter of fact, maybe one of the finest games the offensive line has played since about 2006 in Jackson.
Props to the O-line, baby. Props to the O-line.
What about the upcoming game? We've got to play a tough bunch. And, again, they're AA, a little bigger school than we are.
Yes,
but
sir.
we just handled a little bigger school than we are. What do we need to do?
Well, I feel as long as we all play our 1/11 of the field, you know, just everyone stay together, have the same mindset. We go in knowing what we want to do, what we got to do, get it done, then we go back home.
What colleges are you looking at right now? They'll look at you, but you got in mind. Of course, I wanted to play for UCLA back when I was in high school. I wasn't good enough to play for UCLA, but what schools do you have in mind?
Well, playing-wise, I really thought about Clemson, Vanderbilt as well, mainly because with Vanderbilt, it's another name. It's not just all about sports. It's deeper into Vanderbilt, so that's why I thought about Vanderbilt as well.
Yeah, Vanderbilt, and that's a good one. Your goal in life, if you don't play in the NFL or something like that, what position in life would you like to be? A lawyer, doctor, engineer, accountant?
I was thinking of being an optometrist, honestly.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now, something that we feel is important. We've got a great school, but we are a good Christian school. Your favorite Bible verse?
Ooh. Okay, I got you. Okay. Proverbs 3, verse 5 through 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight.
Absolutely. I left out one of the football questions.
Okay.
Is there a running back, or is your running style your own natural style? Or I know I've had some friends that pattern themselves after Walter Payton. There were some going back to in the 60s, the great Jim Brown and people like that. Or is your style your own unique running style?
I try to be different. I try to make it my own style.
That's a good thing to do. It's your turn. You've got a minute to say anything you want to say to all the football fans, not just Jackson Christian, but all of them out there.
Well, I just want to say thank y'all for showing up, showing love, keeping us motivated during the game. It was a very, very intense game. What was it, 56-46?
Yep.
Yeah, we were scoring back-to-back. We just had to stay into it. And I just want to thank the fans for keeping us motivated, pushing us through.
Absolutely. Cam, it's a pleasure to have it. I'll take another 259 yards this week, and I'm sure the coaches will too.
I'll do my best.
I like calling, especially that 55-yard run. Congratulations on the awards that you picked up. What we're going to do now is take a 1-minute timeout, and when we come back, I stole it from his uncle, but you're going to have Tackler Nash coming on here, number 58. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout.
Good job.
At Southern Family Dentistry, we offer dental treatment for your entire family. We have the latest 3D digital x-ray system. We offer implants, veneers, teeth whitening, and all the other normal services you receive at the dental office. We have 2 offices, one in Milan and one in Jackson, and E+ broadband telephone services allows us to connect both of those offices. It doesn't matter which office the patient calls, we have the ability to speak to that patient at either location.
Men, there's a new salon in Jackson, Race Clips, on South Highland, next door to Roland Safety and Supply. Whether it's a quick trim or a new look, Race Clips stylists can transform you to perfection. At Race Clips, you'll find all the products to keep you looking your best. Active duty military, veterans, and law enforcement officers receive a discount. Open Monday through Friday from 9 to 6, 9 to 3 on Saturday. Race Clips on South Highland, Jackson. Go to race-clips.com.
Back at Hub City Deli with the Jackson Christian Coaches Show after a big 10-point win, and you just saw a very appropriate commercial. And with me, his real name is Tackler Nash, but his uncle, and I stole it from him, and it fits, Tackler Nash, who also doubles as an unlicensed chiropractor, rearranging bones and things like that. Tackler, I'm going to go to the last game you played last year. I believe that one of the very good players with that team came up to you and told you that he had not been hit like that before.
Yes, sir.
That is, and that's just the way. And you're what, 3-year starter? I know for sure. Is it 4?
I'm gonna say count him as a 4. He played defensive line for us as a freshman. And did a great job with that, and then stepped into his role as linebacker.
Of course, I've only been doing y'all's games for the this is my 3rd year, and I've enjoyed it. And Darby gave me a stat. I'll give him credit. We're 3-0 in first games with. And I'm not going to tell you, the announcer has nothing to do with it. Fine young men like this. Let me give you some stats. The number 18 jumps out first. No, he wears 58 on the field, but 18 stands out. 13 solos And we have one of the best statisticians around in Greg Armour, and the staff, and those films are great. So this isn't anything to sneeze at. 13 solos, 5 assists for the total of 18 tackles. And if that wasn't enough, he had 1 tackle for loss. And you got to remember, he's got to cover passes, he got to scrape into the holes and stuff, and then he had a fumble recovery. And he was the leading tackler in 2020 with 100 tackles. Did you take the water out at halftime or anything like that? There's not much left to do. Great night.
Thank you.
And what training did you go through to get to this point? Because once upon a time you were a lineman. The feet had to get quicker.
Right.
And take us through how do you become tackler Nash?
Okay. So freshman year I weighed 240. Sophomore year 225. I think junior year I was around 210. And now I'm around 200. So just training with Coach Irv and his program has gotten me to where I am today.
Now, I try to have one different question for each one of y'all. What makes practice so much fun this year? And I know you've had fun this year.
Yes, sir. Just going out there with my boys and having a good time. I think that is really important.
Having a good time.
Yes, sir.
Big win last week over a team that could put some points on the board, and I believe Brother Fisher could tote the pumpkin. He's a little bit like our man right here. Cam, both of them have that tick-tock style of running, and their hips can make you miss and stuff. And to have 18 tackles one way or the other, that's pretty good. But how'd you feel about your defense last week?
I was so proud of them. Obviously, we still have stuff we need to work on. But I'm so proud of my D-line, my cornerbacks, my safeties, and them just being there for me and them doing their part and me doing my part.
And I want to get Coach kind of involved, both of you, on this. The definition of discipline is doing things when you have to do them. When we had to rise up and have a stop, Coach Bullard, you and Tacker both thought our defense got a couple of stops late.
There was a drive late in the game that started with Caleb Newsom. We call him our dog position. Made a play across the field and on first down and just got our defense going. Yeah. And I'm not sure if that led to a turnover or 3 and out or what it was, but I felt like that kind of separated us from them. They got our defense fired up, and from there we just started flying to the ball. It was just like renewed energy, I guess you could say.
Absolutely. Tacker, with your similar comments?
Yes, sir.
Well, if you got something to add that, feel free to do so, because y'all were great when you had to be great. And I felt like in that fourth quarter it was a disciplined effort, because they were down there in the shadows of our goal line.
Yeah.
And we pushed them out of there and did what we had to do when we had to do it.
Yes, sir.
Let's meet Tacker up close and personal. This is one of the finest young men. His grandfather is one of my best friends. And matter of fact, first question is, did you learn anything about football from your grandfather? I probably know more about his career until he broke his leg.
Yeah.
He was probably one of the finest linemen at Tiger.
Yeah.
The junior high then.
When I was younger, about in elementary, he would come out and help me with drills and stuff, but he's always been there for me in football, always coming to all my games, always supporting me, and I just want to thank him for that.
Yeah, he is a great man. Now, what about little brother? You give him any tips? Now, he looks like he's still growing.
Yes, sir. He's actually taller than me now.
I don't know about little brother, Coach. He's bigger now.
Younger brother,
Mike.
Younger
There
brother.
There you go.
Coach Bullard's always. Coach, you got a question for Tacker before I hit him with the up close and personal stuff?
I don't really have a question for him, but I do have a lot of respect for this young man. Wanted to be a linebacker as soon as he got to high school, but accepted his role as a freshman and did what he could to help us win. And then he made the decision that he's going to change his body and play the position he wants to play. And it's been no turning back ever since. He's one of the hardest working kids I've ever been around. I could say that about Cam, and I can say that the short time I've been around Presley. We'll talk to him in a minute, but I mean, I've never seen a kid work as hard as this one, and he deserves all the publicity, but he's making it about the team, and I love that even more.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Brian,
sir.
well said, as you all. That's the reason I like this man doing basketball with me. Okay, here it comes. Favorite food?
Favorite food?
Yeah.
Probably Asian food, Asian-type food.
You like Asian
Sushi.
food? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, my wife and you, again, need to talk about that. Sushi, I'm more of a teriyaki chicken, teriyaki beef, etc. like that. On occasion, I will get the King Kong roll, but sometimes I have to take part of it home and stuff. The favorite sports movie that you got?
Probably The Water Boy.
The
with
Water
Bobby
Boy.
Boucher.
You are not the water boy in disguise, are you?
No, sir.
You would be a smarter version. Although it turned out he was pretty smart.
Pretty
he had
good,
to pass that test and stuff. What other sports do you play?
I play track, and I think later this year I'm going to try soccer with my other boys.
I would not want to get hit on the soccer field by this guy.
We're gonna have to teach him a little bit of non-contact. Though. I don't know how that's gonna go, Coach.
And if you combine him and Zach's footwork, Zach Cisco is pretty good. But this is the type body, and sorry, he's not going down. The sliding tackle would not affect Tacker at all. Who's the biggest influence in your life? Be an athlete, dad, mom?
Probably
whoever.
my dad.
Your dad.
Yes, sir.
And who was a pretty good football player in his own right at Jackson Christian School, too, one day. And we'll get Nathan on because he helps, correct me if I'm wrong, he helps coach the elementary team.
Yes, sir.
He was out there just a little bit ago. Yes, sir.
And Mom had a lot of athletic talent. And,
yes, sir.
She's also she was a very lovely young lady. She still is, and she's extremely smart, too. And, of course, his grandparents, all of them, the grandmothers, the grandfather, you know them. You can't miss them. They're in town. Miss Pam, Miss Joellen, or the grandmother. And what great people. Now, what's your favorite class at school?
Probably history class with my teacher, Miss Fran Baker. That's probably my favorite class.
I liked history, too. Got a math man over here to my side. And your teammates. This is a fun year. I can tell you guys had fun the other night.
Yes, sir.
You like working with this crew.
Love it.
How do you like being a captain this year?
I think it's definitely different from not being a captain, but I'm just going to embrace that and go with the flow.
Now, when Cam's probably going to come back for the year, I meant to ask all three. Favorite drill in football?
Probably eagle drill.
Eagle drill, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Like that. Now, if you could play another sport and they told you could never play football again, what sport would you play? Be glad you didn't get that one.
Man, that's a tough question.
The question was, if you could never play football again, what sport would you play?
Ooh.
Cam's thinking over here now, so is Presley.
Presley's getting to go last, getting to all your questions, Coach. He's going to be prepared
I got one or two for Presley, too.
You better hold on a couple.
And that's a tough one.
Yeah, I would probably go with if we had it, hockey or boxing, something like that.
Hockey or boxing, I would not want to get hit by the shoulder. We got to get this in. I'm trying to watch my time a little bit, too. What about college? We know you've got all kinds of schools.
Yes, sir.
And we're not going to ask you who you're going to commit to yet or anything like that. Has it been fun being recruited?
Yes, sir. I've enjoyed it a lot.
You like the trips?
Yes, sir.
That's good. They serve good pizza or they give you better food than that. That's all you got back in the 60s when you got to eat pizza and tour the campus. But you've done more than that. You've met with some fine football coaches too, haven't
yes, sir.
you? And roughly how many schools are we close on now? Again, there are more schools interested in Tacker, but you've dealt with, about 4 or 5 really close?
I would say about 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
And I've even gotten a couple of calls from guys I know that, especially some East Tennessee schools that were interested, and he can play the game. And your goals for life, that's one we're going to ask all three, and we'll even ask Presley about that. After you get through with football and can't ever play again, what do you want to be?
I want to be a dental surgeon, like my dad.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I was wondering about that because Bill had told me once upon a time. Then, a few years ago, there was something else medical-wise I think he mentioned.
Oh, yes, sir, anesthesiologist.
Yeah, but you want to be like your dad.
Yes, sir.
I don't blame you. Your dad's even a commercial star, too. He's a good guy. Now, what's your favorite Bible verse?
I'd have to go with Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Amen. I will amen that all day. And, even with decision-making, you three young men, you can tell the presence of Christ in y'all's lives to make this. It's your turn to say anything you want to. That's something your dad and I do a show, or granddad and I do a show together, and one of the traditions is it's your turn to say anything to those football fans.
Man, thank y'all for all the support last Friday. It was awesome. The student section was awesome. The fans were awesome, and I just want to say thank y'all.
Absolutely. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout, and when we come back, we're going to come back with a man, and we had him last, but we want to talk to him. He is a tough guy. He's a first-year Eagle, but he deserves to be here tonight, and we're going to talk with Presley about coming to Jackson, about Jackson Christian, but most of all about him, let you meet him up close and personal. 1 minute timeout on the Jackson Christian Coaches Show at Hub City Deli.
Hello, folks. This is Gary Deaton, right here at Deaton's Carpet One. I want to let you know we've been in business for 48 years. Here's what I believe has made the difference. Our lifetime labor warranty on everything we install. Our healthy living installations, bacteria and germs cannot survive in our new flooring. Our beautiful guarantee, if you don't just love it, we'll replace it. It will make your flooring experience priceless. We're located on Freedom Highway, 1000 Highway 45 bypass in good old Jackson, Tennessee.
At Southern Family Dentistry, we use E+ broadband at both of our locations. We use digital x-rays at both of our offices, and we need the high-speed access to be able to submit all of our x-rays electronically for the insurance companies. Installation was simple. We experienced little to no downtime. I would highly recommend E+ broadband to anyone in the commercial market. The reliability is second to none, and the service is the best.
And we are back with the Jackson Christian Coaches Show. Coach Brian Bullard sitting in with me, Darby Palmer, and I admire Darby for what he's doing. He went back for the elementary game. That's why. Coach, you got a big announcement about Thursday night. We've got something important, and it may even get televised.
Absolutely. We got our middle school 7th and 8th grade guys. They've had 2 scrimmages. They've had a game canceled, and they get to kick off Thursday in a real contest. And we're excited for those guys and excited for you guys to be able to showcase that talent and abilities those guys have too.
And it will be on the Jackson Christian Facebook. I'm going to get you to tell them, because I mess Facebook stuff up. Tell them how they can get on Jackson Christian's Facebook.
So if you like our page, I believe that it shows that we're live when that's going on. And then, of course, you can always watch it after. If there's something you missed, you archive those games, and you're able to go back and watch. And so our Facebook page, the Jackson Christian School Facebook page, and check those guys out. If you can't make it to the game, they'd love to have you in the stands if you can be there.
Absolutely. Support those young men. They are the future of the program. It'll be archived on YouTube, Worthy Road Studios. Type in that particular game. Ball Game Blitz will be involved, but Worthy Road Studios makes all of this stuff happen. And most high school coaches show, if anybody has one, they don't have 3 cameras either, but Worthy Road Studios
this is a great production, guys. We're
can
glad
make
to be
it happen. Now, Coach Bullard's going to help me. We have a special guest. This young man moved in here. The last time I saw him, he had the wrong colored jersey on, but he still was a good player. Got hurt, though, last year.
Yes, sir, I did.
Missed it. What brought you to Jackson, Tennessee?
You know, when I was in 8th grade, I came to football camp here, and I shadowed as well. And I really enjoyed the atmosphere of the school. From our school I was at, there wasn't a bond between the players and just a connection as a family. When I came back up here, I saw that there was more than just about football. It was more about, what we're doing afterwards and how we're leading up as men and as Christian men especially, and just a brotherhood and a unity as just in life.
A good Christian atmosphere. And I'm going to get you to move your mic a little bit. And they move as they do that because we want to hear what you've got to say. You have the line calls, and I don't think people understand that. And Coach, you can pitch in on this too. You not only have to block somebody, you not only have to make an accurate snap, but you have to change the blocking assignments if the defense shows anything that
Correct.
We weren't ready for, or maybe that play was designed to be blocked against a 50 this way, but you can't block a split 4, and they may not even use that term, but there's still the split look.
Yeah.
That's an old defense you don't hear much of. And, Auburn's people say they used to run a split 4. It was a split 6 because they walked their guys. And there is a difference, folks. How tough is it? And tell us a little bit what you can tell us about the line calls you have to make.
It's kind of self-explanatory once you've done it for a while, but it's all about, angles and the way the play is going. If you know where the play is going, you can kind of tell by the looks of the defense. So you get up there, you call out the box. You're like, okay, this play I do this play I do that. I know the guys beside me are doing this, doing that. That way you can adjust yourself around if they decide to shift down or if they decide to go down to a 4 or a 3. You can say it in your head, okay, linebacker comes down to blitz, I got to pick him up instead of getting the nose, that kind of thing.
Well, that kind of thing. Brian, you and Presley both jump in on this one. you're a defensive guy, but you've also taught the kids how to block this, that, and the other. Is the stack with a guy on the nose of the center and a linebacker stacked behind him, is that some people think that's one of the hardest blocks in football, or is it easy because one's got to go one way and the other one's got to go the other way?
I think it's pretty easy. If you're confident in the guys beside you, like the 2 guards I have now, I'm pretty confident that if one was to decide to flow over another way, I think the guys could be able to adjust and make the decision on where to go.
And Brian, as defensive line coach, what do you like to do to kind of mess up offensive linemen sometimes?
I like having our guys start in a place that they're not going to be. I like having us showing a look pre-snap and then moving around, slanting a little bit, and making it tough on those guys. He's played a lot of football. And so you're not really going to catch them off guard, I don't think. But, that stack look is tough at times if you're not ready. And Coach Will Riker does a tremendous job watching. You're talking about a film guy, watching all kinds of film and getting these guys ready and make it as simple as possible. But he does give them some freedom to do some different things that make us successful.
Really do. Presley, would you like to play college football?
Yes, sir.
Have you talked to some teams?
I have worked my way into it. As a sophomore last year, being injured, I wasn't putting myself out there as much because I wasn't able to go to football camps and do all that, but I tried to reach out as much as I could for the situation I was in.
This summer you did get to go to some camps, or will it be next? You'll still be next summer, but you're going to hit the camps, and that's a good thing. And folks, Presley's a wise young man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you got to go to those camps
Yes,
in this day and time, and that was one of your questions, because I knew you either had gone this summer or was going to go in after coming off the injuries and things like that. But you're 100% now.
Yes, sir.
And ready to go pretty quick off the football. How tough is it with the snap and the quarterback not under center?
It's not too bad. I had to learn as a center in 8th grade and 9th grade how to be able to snap and give speed back there. But I think I'm pretty confident this year and able to do that really fast and quick and get off the ball. What's
the most fun thing about practice at Jackson Christian?
Just the energy, having the guys out there being happy and excited, and just getting after it in plays and drills.
Plays and drills. Let's meet Presley up close and personal. Presley Edmonston. He wears number 66. That's a very good number. Was that your number over at FACS too?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's some people. I've tried to wear 5. Baseball, whatever I played. If I'd played ice hockey, I probably would have tried to. Some people say, don't call it ice hockey, coach. Okay. Up close and personal. Favorite food?
Okay, I'd probably say my mom's meatloaf mashed potato special consists of meatloaf, mashed potatoes, cornbread, and green beans.
So I got to talk to your parents. They're very nice. I bet your mom is a good cook.
She's a great cook.
I'm going to have to come over to your house sometime. You just tempted me with what you talked about right there. Your favorite sports movie?
Probably Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans. That is a very, very good one. Athletes that's had an influence, or one particular athlete that has affected your life?
Probably Ryan Jensen. He's the center for the Buccaneers. I think he's
very
a
good
great
one.
center.
He's a fine person. If you weren't playing football, or what sports are you playing? And you're new to Jackson Christian School. You're gonna throw the shot or the discus or anything like that, or play baseball?
Coach Irv has us throwing some shot put and discus this year, yes, sir.
And I bet you probably, I'm looking at Tacker, throw the shot or discus a little bit too. This one just runs now. And like I said, I like to coach 4x100 relay teams, and he hasn't got a choice. He's going to run the 4x1. And that's Cam that I'm talking about. But getting back to Presley, besides athletes, biggest influence in your life?
Probably my dad. He was always there for me when I was a kid and growing up. He was tough on me, and I didn't like him sometimes for it, but I knew it was out of love, and I knew that he wanted me to be better than he was. And, looking at it now, I think that he was probably the biggest influence I had, because he strived for me to be better. He was my coach when I was younger, and I'd say he was probably my biggest influence.
Let's get the class first. What's your favorite class? We've had a math man, we've had a history man, and you can be one of those, or what's your favorite class?
Other than lunch, I'll put that one to the side. Other than lunch, I'll probably say math. I like the challenge of being able to figure out problems and getting them right.
And other than class, football practice, all that, what's your favorite thing at Jackson Christian?
Probably the community. We're a big family.
That's a good, and there are a lot of good people, not just the athletes, but other people. Coach Buller, I got to interject this. I hate to admit this. You know, the chapel was one of my favorite things when I was in college.
We enjoy going to chapel.
Yeah.
It looks a little different now, but we enjoy everybody being together and being able to do that.
And I know y'all have some good outings. All three have some good outings with things like that because at school we do, and we make good citizens at Jackson Christian School. What about your favorite drill?
Oklahoma drill.
The Oklahoma drill. You know, that's a drill. I love it. People have run it for years. It's starting to get extinct in some places. Mm-hmm. How can you play football without the Oklahoma drill?
Right.
It just wouldn't be football. And what about your teammates? Everybody has a different angle, but your teammates seem to make it fun. What do you enjoy about your teammates?
I think the intensity, like Friday night, there were some guys that I didn't think, they surprised me in the intensity they had and the courage they had and be able to fight through adversity. And, we had young guys even stepping up and being able to make plays and make a difference and when it mattered.
Because Bullard, you got a question for him? I've got two more, but they're the old standard questions that all of them are
Since
asking.
he's the new guy here, I'm going to ask you this, Presley, and I got a funnier one. What is the thing that y'all make fun of Coach Palmer for the most in the locker room?
He's the pretty boy. He's the pretty boy.
Okay.
That is a good one. If he had stayed now, they were going to get to ask him a question, and you didn't know about that,
No.
so I wasn't going to pull that one on you. What do you want to be after football as far as, let's say you don't make it to the NFL, you play college, but you don't make it in. What do you want to be?
Architectural engineer.
Architectural engineer, and that is good. Now, it's your turn to say anything you want to the fans, and there are probably thousands of them out there because I know we had a bunch of hits on the football game the other night. Mm-hmm. There's even a guy from Kuala Lumpur that listens sometimes. What would you like to say to them?
I just want to say thank for everybody for supporting us. I know sometimes it can be hard, whether if we're down in numbers or if we're down in points. I thank for everybody to stick with us and have faith in us that we're able to pull through and to make plays and make a difference and bring a community to this city.
It sounds like a winner. We're going to take a 1-minute timeout, and when we come back, I'll try to talk less, and we're going to let Coach Brian Bullard, who is the defensive line coach, but he's all-around good guy. He's going to kind of tell us what we need to know. We get to play St. George's this weekend. We're going to have football. Let's take that 1-minute timeout on the Coaches Show from here at Hub City Deli.
Great American Sports. Make sports an addiction. Located at 125B Old Hickory Boulevard, East in Jackson. We specialize in team sports for youth leagues, schools, and churches. We can embroider and screen print team uniforms. We also have sports equipment, Under Armour, and Adidas clothing, and anything else you need for your team sports. You can email or call us for all your team sports needs. Great American Sports. Make sports an addiction.
Football looks fun. I bet I would have been great at it. The first football playing deer, they would have made a movie about me and everything. Probably get Kurt Russell to play me. But alas, me and my dreams run right over again.
For fast, reliable collision repair, trust the experts at Mitchell's Body Shop. And get back out there.
Buying a car is all about you. In person, over the phone, or online, we make it simple and easy. Our place is yours, no matter where you live. LonnieCobbFord.com or Lonnie Cobb Ford in Henderson, where cars really are cheaper in the country. At Lonnie Cobb Ford, we now give you a warranty for life on the engine and transmission. That's right, a warranty for life at no cost to you. Unlimited time, unlimited mileage, but it's only at Lonnie Cobb Ford in Henderson, where cars really are cheaper in the country.
Back for the final segment in the Jackson Christian Coaches Show here at Hub City Deli on Pleasant Plains Extended. And I have the pleasure of having Brian Bullard, who I've worked with before in basketball, but he's a baseball coach. He is a ring-ding line coach because his kids will ring and ding the other team when they hit them. Coach, we're going to let you tell them this is a big football weekend starting with Thursday. and we'll let you tell them all about it and what they need to know.
Yes, sir. We mentioned it earlier, our elementary tonight, and then on Thursday, our middle school guys will kick off their season, the real season, not scrimmages, against TCA at our place, and you guys will be carrying that action, and we're excited for those guys to get exposure and those young men to be able to hit somebody else in a real game where they're keeping score. So we're excited about that on our Facebook page, and then again, archive later on with Worthy Road. So we're excited.
Absolutely. You can catch all Jackson Christian action. Coach and I were on Worthy Road Studios last year with Jackson Christian basketball. And now, Friday night at 7 o'clock. Let's emphasize the time, 7 o'clock. We have to play one of the most respected programs in the state of Tennessee. Once upon a time when he was alive, the late Ken Nettle coached him to many a victory. We've got our work cut out for it, but our young men are up to the task, aren't they?
Yes, sir. We have the most respect for St. George's in their program and what they've done, and we're preparing. Today was our long work day, trying to put our guys in the best spot. And 7 o'clock on Friday, we'll trust that they're ready, and we'll go play.
Absolutely, and we will work on the format before next week, but we wanted those elementary kids to have their head coach there.
Absolutely.
Coach, it is your turn to say anything to not just Jackson Christian fans, but we have fans, I have been informed, that are tuning in that they're fans of Jackson Christian, but they really have no association with the school other than they just like watching Jackson Christian football.
Coach, I'm going to start by recognizing those three gentlemen again. And the stats are great, but the way they represented us tonight here and speaking on our program and the words they're using is not something we want to brainwash in them, but it's something we do preach and we do expect, and we try to make a part of our everyday program. And those guys representing us here on and off the field, along with putting up the numbers, is special. And in high school, I didn't carry that maturity, and I'll admit that, and I was very impressed with them tonight. And I'm going to echo, our fans were tremendous the other night. Our band was tremendous the other night. There was a time in a timeout, I had to cover up my other ear so I could get the play call in to our offense from Coach Hooper. And that's great. I want to be having to do those things. And our video board and our music, and it was just a great night for us. And just the first one, though. We got to – you're only as good as the one this week. So
that's right.
That's what we're focused on.
Last week's history.
Yes,
that's not. We got the best small band in America.
They're amazing.
Yeah,
they're
they really are. Cheerleaders are great. And Coach, the kids I know have had a good work. It's early. It's starting. It's just the beginning, but they've had a good work week. The past one, I know they're going to work hard. What are some things that fans need to look for Friday night, though?
I hope that we can run the football again. That's going to be something this team can hang our hats on. Is that any running back we put behind that offensive line, that we can get 3 yards to carry, and that's what we're trying to do. And we're going to break big ones, and sometimes they're going to stop us, but it helps Gage get comfortable and get him in rhythm. And I hope to continue running the football like that. And I hope to see us kind of clean up some stuff defensively. The little bit of letdown. Just some young guys back there. I mean, you got a freshman at safety. You got a sophomore at strong safety. You got guys playing corner that hadn't really worked much corner, but due to depth, they went out there and did a tremendous job. 2 seniors, but haven't played a lot of corner. So I hope that we keep building on that, and Coach Phillips does a great job with our defense, and I want to see us clean some of that up and maybe have a little more breathing room there at the end and not make it as close. But that's our goal.
We want to pick up win number 195 in the program Friday night, don't we?
That would be awesome.
We also want to change the ticket against St. George's. We're 1-3, and
okay.
we start Friday night changing that ticket, and but we are winners of 3 straight openers.
That's awesome,
and that is awesome among our kids. The biggest thing we got to correct are a lot of little fundamental things.
Yes,
we got young outside linebackers. Sometimes they didn't keep that outside hand free.
Yeah.
We had a small gap that I know you worked on, that we may have got too big a hole that allowed Patterson to step up, but we shut that down when we had to.
We made a small adjustment there in the second half. We were getting a little too far upfield with our line and opening up that cutback, and we made Coach Phillips made a good adjustment with that, and our guys responded. A lot of young guys out there. You got Tackers, the senior, and the anchor in the middle, but a lot of young guys getting reps. And that's the great thing about this team is we don't look at them and think that we're in trouble if they're in. We got faith in them, and they're doing their part and trying to fill their role and do anything they can for us to win. And that goes from our scout team guys in practice all the way to the 2 of the 3 of the guys that were here tonight. So
that's right, because they're not pushing on the starters. We're not improving.
Absolutely not.
Coach, final quick word.
I hope everybody comes out and makes the trip Friday to support us, and if you can't, join us on the production. And then I'm gonna go out, and my 6-year-old he's big 6 today. It's his birthday. So my son Nolan, his birthday. He spent the day with Mom, and I wish him a happy birthday. And thanks for Hub City Deli having us here. This is amazing. This is tremendous, and I'm hoping this is something that picks up steam, and we can get as many guys on here and many coaches on here representing our. I'm gonna use the word Presley used and say community at Jackson Christian, because that's what we're trying to build.
Absolutely, we want people to come out. The kids will sign autographs, and they'll get their pictures made. They're not like college athletes. It's not going to cost you anything.
Right.
And even the coaches now, and our coaches, they're good men. They will take pictures. We just can't hit them with a pie or anything like that. And we joke about that. Well, one time when I was coaching, we had a fundraiser where people got to throw
pies. We may do that too if we can get a little money. Our money guy was here earlier. He was here visiting with our guys, and so a lot of this was Blake Beckham's getting this all together too, and Shane Cisco. Our Booster Club president does a great job, and he kind of connected with y'all.
You know Shane and Jeff are 2 of mine. And,
yes, sir.
And their sister, Luann, who just happens to be the mother of Holt that plays a little bit. He's hurt right now.
Sir.
And then little sister, not a bad basketball and softball player
And
either.
you got the big Carter at Arkansas State throwing the ball still, so he's got one more year up there.
That's right. We're going to have to sign off. I don't want to. I like being here at Hub City Deli. I love my Jackson Christian School people, and we are having fun. But we're going to make this a regular thing. We'll have the format down to about an hour. We went over a little bit tonight, but it'll be fun. You'll get to meet the kids, meet the coaches up close and personal. And we'll also talk football, and who knows, in the future, could even have some film to look at. You never know that.
There we go.
There we go. Coach Brian Bullard
Coach.
will be with me. Oh, I appreciate it. But you're going to make your promise on air before I get off. You will do some basketball with me this year. That is a winner. Jackson Christian School is a winner. Hub City Deli is a winner. Thanks for your time this time. Till next time, good night, all.